Or at church, one of the two.
Jody Williams, we are live, my friend. The special
Yes.
Sunday edition of the show. What can I
Hope
say? Sometimes we have to pivot, we'll say.
Yeah. I hope everybody has their coffee, their bacon and eggs, mimosas, if you will, whatever. Welcome to the show. As always, please do not forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. So you want to hear the story about why we're doing it today?
Let's have
We
it.
do have a couple live viewers.
Oh, good. Chime in,
Awesome.
people.
Marco
GT5. Yes.
Military house hunting trip. So I sell real estate, as people probably know. But when they book these trips, basically their bosses pay them to come and spend 5 days in the community, but it's super intense because you basically have to look at every house in the market on day number one. So tomorrow, that's what I'm doing. We're going to be shopping for houses, and by the end of the week, we have to have something bought for them, and the dogs are cleaning shit, so that's fun.
And the mailman's not even here.
Mailman's not even here. It's Sunday. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be running around town showing houses. So everything I had planned is off. So here we are on a Sunday.
Yes.
Ready to do the Monster Factory predictions.
Yes. So Marco, GT5, Ryan, Dustin, Jay Clean, welcome to the show. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday morning coffee. I have my Sunday morning iced tea.
I have about 4 cups of coffee.
Nervous. I am nervous. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Well, let's get into it. Maybe your soapbox moment can come throughout this. But
it will.
Let's go to this screen over here. And then we can talk about all the things that come with the Monster Factory.
Yes. Now, so Friday night.
I'm using this graphic, Jody, because it's the basic graphic, but these two gentlemen right here that I'm circling my cursor around. Can you see that?
Matt Sartorius and Ben LeClaire.
They don't have their own graphics, so we're just going to use this one for them.
Yes.
Matt Sartorius, Ben LeClaire, and it is a right-handed match, correct?
Correct. Best out of 5. And for everybody in the chat, just so you know, Matt Sartorius is 6'4", 380, and Ben LeClaire is 6'8", 440 pounds. Please make sure those tables are bolted to the ground.
Now, I've pulled this guy. Ben, that's his name?
Yeah, LeClaire.
Yeah. I arm wrestled him in Vegas when I was just freshly coming off my injury just to test it out, and I believe I fouled out. But Matt Sartorius got a lot more experience. He was part of the WAL tournaments back in the day.
Yeah.
I think this big guy, Ben, is probably got, you know what? Let's go with, they're all best of 5, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to say he's going to win 3-1.
You know what? I really can't say one or the other because I don't know either gentleman. I just know that's a lot of weight on that table. And question, Ryan, because you're a big guy. When you pull somebody just as big as you or just as, not bigger than you, is there an issue with, as a referee, as far as squaring the shoulders? Is it real difficult to kind of get the guys to square the shoulders or no?
You know what? I'm going to say no. I don't think there is. I mean, some referees can struggle with that if guys are getting too close to their hands. You basically just need to take control of that match and enforce the rules.
Right.
And that's kind of what it comes down to. Every time you got these hybrid systems where, occasionally they'll let things slide a little bit, that's where you always run into problems.
It's that gray area, right?
Yep, 100%. So you didn't make a prediction yet for this one? You don't know a lot about these guys? You
throw one out there for fun? Lot. I think Matt Sartorius actually pulled one event there before.
Yeah.
But I don't know a whole lot about him. So I'm gonna just roll the card. I'm gonna just say, we'll say Sartorius 3-2, because it's hard for me when But this is why I like what Michael and Rebecca's doing, because it gives opportunity for some of these guys who the world doesn't know a whole lot about, like myself. It gives them, a chance to be on a big stage, because let's be real, as far as promotion stuff, this is the one here in the States. This is the one. So
yeah. The last time I had a conversation with Matt Sartorius, it was on a bus in Vegas, and he was on his way to the Pinball Museum.
Pinball. Oh, all right.
I didn't know it was a thing either. All right. No particular order. Tim Talman, Robbie Russell.
My man. First of all, this is what you got to do, because talking with Tim, he's a good friend of mine. He's also part of the Arm Sports Entertainment family, as I am, right? There's a group of us who are affiliated with that organization. Myself, Jason, Sarah Latona, Tim and his wife. So it's like the Five Musketeers and a few other guys. And, talking with him, nobody gives Tim a chance to win. Not even Tim himself gives him a chance to win. But I'm telling you what, I will say, Tim will get one win out of this. And for Tim, because Robbie Russell is that darn good, and he's been killing people along the ranks, I think, Tim will get at least one win.
So that's your prediction, that Robbie's going to win 3 matches to 1.
Yes.
Okay. I can't disagree with that, but just to be difficult and different, I'm going to say 3-0.
There we go.
We ready to move on?
Let's do it.
Oh, look at this.
Yes. Who's that handsome young guy on the right in the white T-shirt?
Never heard of him.
Some weirdo that who tends to get underneath the skin of some people. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Doot, doot, doot. Soapbox time. Soapbox time.
Oh, here we go.
Soapbox time. Actually, it was for the other match, but I'll say this. So you guys know Artem, Travis Bajan. They got their thing going just like we do, Ryan, and everybody in the chat. So if you saw the Travis Bajan Unfiltered, Tell Me I'm the Greatest, episode 25 or 26, even though they keep claiming it's first ever episode, whatever. Artem was on there, and they were going over the card just like we are, right? He was going down the line and stuff, and then he had talked about actually my match with Russ Schrader, and he said it'll be a good match, but anytime whoever pulls Jody, I'm rooting for that guy, because not to get too deep into the story, but I'm a big, huge supporter of Denise Waddles and Leonard Harkless, and Travis is anti-Denise and Leonard. And there's a couple times where he got on the show and kind of, bad-mouthed him. I kind of stood up for him, and I kind of said, no, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. So ever since then, he's got kind of a thing against me. So I'm assuming Travis wants me to lose against Daniel Worley, which is fine. But here's the thing, though. This match between Daniel and myself was supposed to be for Friday night, but I talked to Michael yesterday, change of plans. When he booked his flight, he booked it to where it comes in. His flight comes in at 11 o'clock Friday night, when, if you look at the preliminary card, things start at 5 o'clock Friday night. So I'd be pulling my shadow, basically. So, but, it's all right, So basically that match gets moved to Saturday, and then I don't make predictions on myself. I really don't. This is for you guys. And Ryan, go ahead, my friend. And this is right-handed, by the way.
Oh. All right, Jody, it's 3-0 for you. Yep.
We'll take it.
On Daniel Worley, I think so. Yeah.
The thing is, with those Florida guys, Brandon Morris, Chan Shaw, Artem, Worley, those guys love that low hand top roll. That is their live and die. They live and die by that move. So we're going to see what happens.
Look, maybe into your preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Like to hear what the chat has to say about it. And just to address something, Jay Clean, you said, have you guys seen RVJ's podcasts? Has he got a new show? Because his YouTube channel was there and then he kind of vanished for a while. And then I'm guessing he's back.
Actually, it's pretty good. He has it's a show with him, Doug Ehrlich, and Paul in on there.
Okay.
It's actually pretty darn good, actually. I enjoy watching it.
Yeah. Are they drinking? Or is
No.
RVJ drinking?
Actually, they're not, but it's like they just keep it. They're not drinking. That's the thing. So
all right, next up. Right hand, Carl Stanley and Sonny Gay.
I would have said, if it was lefty, I would have said Carl all day long.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not sure, where Carl is right-handed, I'm excited to see, Sonny Gay in person and compete in person. But I do know Carl, good guy. His right is not bad. It's just he's known for his left, but his right is not bad. So I would say Stanley 3-1.
Man, I don't know a lot about Sonny, and I don't have a lot of data on him. For sure, I know about Carl. So I'll go 3-0 Carl on this one.
All right. Florida's in the house.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Bob Brown.
And you know what? Here's the thing, because here's a did you know? Did you know Bob Brown is undefeated at the Monster Factory?
I did not know that.
I think he's pulled all of them and is undefeated. He's 3-0.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think there's like a Monster Factory titles there too, by the way, in case you guys didn't know that in the chat. There's titles. So I'm not sure what title Bob has, but he probably should have one because he's been undefeated ever since he walked on that stage. So it's hard to go against somebody who has the knowledge, because you got to remember, in Utah, the array of talent he has to train with, and we won't even talk about John Brzezinski and Todd Hutchins because they don't live there anymore, but they still Bongard, Cody Merritt, Jordan Seal, Justin Green. I mean, the list goes on. And that open hand top row that Bob, has now, that he possesses, is very, very dangerous. Is it going to be one of those situations where it's youth versus experience? I don't know. But I tell you what, this will be by far one of Bob Brown's toughest matchups, but I think he'll pull it out at the end.
Yeah, you know what? Kind of took the words out of my mouth a little bit, because Billy says, actually, this is a good comment. Billy sure has gotten thick since I saw him in Vegas last year. Yeah, Bob is getting, like, he looks like he's putting on muscle. Bob is so technical that I think that even if Austin comes in and wins a couple, he will find a way to pull it out. So I will say Bob Brown. I'm going to say 3-2.
As do I, because I just think that experience, and nothing against Austin Wade.
No, I mean, these guys, if they take these predictions, there's a way of doing them where it's personal, and there's a way where it's not. When somebody says, whoever's pulling Jody, I'll take that guy, that's different than what we're doing.
Yeah. I think it's funny. Wouldn't it be funny if I sat there and I won my match and I got on there and was like, hey, Travis, cheers,
USS Liberty, never forget, sends us a $4.20 super chat. 420.
Nice.
Hope you guys had a great arm wrestling day. Yeah, World Arm Wrestling Day. What did you think of that, Jody? We'll just jump into that for a second.
I like the narrative, because I don't partake in the other 420. So it was a breath of fresh air when I actually saw that.
Yeah. I think it's like something that WAF has promoted.
There you go.
This one is interesting for me, man. Like, Steven's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And gotten bigger and bigger over the years. Seen him in a few super matches. John, of course, Canadian boy coming down there, has gotten into some great matches lately, coming off of a lot. Oh, well, can I talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. He took a loss on that one show. It aired, right?
Talking about the Arm Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, that if you're an Arm Wars member, it is currently on there. So if you not subscribe, but if you're a member, it is on there. But
Yeah.
let's be real, he pulled one of the best guys, Mendigus Terrasitis.
So John's coming down here. I think he's going to be the smaller man for sure. However, I do think he's the stronger man.
They're pulling left and right, by the way.
Oh, are they? Yeah, it says both arms.
Yeah.
I'm going to favor John in both.
I'm taking John right, Steven left.
No, I'm going to say John both.
Yeah.
John both, and it's going to be 3-0 or 3-1. That's my prediction. And John, if he loses, it's going to be like, something wonky, like he has bad timing, or it's a flash pin, or it's a elbow foul, something like that.
And John has a strong hand.
Something to wake him up.
John has a strong hand. For people who don't know, John has a strong hand. So, and the thing is, though, is that we saw him at the East vs. West qualifier in Toronto. He was still, John is just taking all kind of matches, which is not a bad thing. But I'm telling you right now, John can grind.
Yeah.
Even Phil Woody got a pin on Logsdon.
There it is. All right.
Here we go. Beef Jerky himself. And I can't. Gagabin? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know, but he pulled at that. He's pulled at that Monster Factory, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, and he won his match, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think he did, but this is going to be good because this is a rematch of a match that happened at this year's Arnold Classic.
And how was the match at the Arnold's?
It was good, but Mirta ended up winning. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the finals. Because Pablo won. Pablo beat Marcio in the heavyweights, and then I think it was these two in the supers because Austin didn't go because Jaggers was preparing for Arm Wars. So no, yeah. So I think these two were in the finals. So this is a rematch.
Okay. I don't know. What are you going to say on this one, Jody?
Beef Jerky for the win. 3-2.
I'm going to go the other way.
Mirta?
Yeah.
And I say that because when you have a loss on that, it's one thing if you lost in the first round or third round or whatever, but when it's for the championship, for the Arnold Classic, and Ryan, you've been there before, and I've been there before, but I've never been in the finals, but you're there, and this is for all the marbles. And to me, I still think the Arnold's is probably one of the most one of the best tournaments you can win. It might have lost to some of its luster over the years, but I still think it's one of the prestige tournaments you can win. And when you're pulling, because I don't know if a lot of people know this in the chat, but once you win an Arnold Classic title, you don't have to qualify. You're there for life. You can show up whenever you want to, any year you want to. You don't have to qualify. So having that being on the line, the Letterman jacket, whatever, the big trophy, and you lose to a guy and you get the rematch the following month, I assure you Devin's like real fired up about that.
But wouldn't the other guy be just as fired up? Because now he's got to prove that he's the better man because, yeah, rematching a guy that quick, if you take that loss, that's a bad look. Okay,
here, I'll do you one better. And everybody, you guys, you pullers, go ahead and answer me this. How often do we say when you lose a match and you wake up the next day going, damn, if I would have done that, man, if I could pull him again, I would have done this better. Right? We've all done that. I've done that. You've done that. Everybody has done that where, like, I thought I could sit there and say on Arm Wars, looking back now, had I did A, B, and C, and D, then X, Y, Z would have never happened or whatever. We think about that. So I know, Devin's looking for, revenge. And I guess the saying goes that, hey, it's a lot easier. It's easy to get to the top. It's harder to remain at the top. So I mean, for this purpose,
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. But I stick with my prediction.
Yeah, that's cool. That's why we are what we are. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is a good match.
And by the way, Roman will be one of the down refs, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Luke Polsher and Dustin Hyatt. Oh, I'm sorry. Luke Polsher and Roman Granoff will be the refs at that event. And this match was supposed to happen at the Monster Factory 3, but it got canceled. And now here we are. Meanwhile, Dustin has been at the Arm Wars. He's been, kicking ass, that kind of stuff. This is one of the interesting match, but I think Roman's going to take this.
Yeah, I do as well. But I think it's going to be I think it's going to be 3-1, but it's going to be a good match. Although that first setup is going to tell us everything we need to know.
Well, you also got to realize too, when you're a certified ref, you see things other people don't see when you compete, right? Because now you see all the tricks and stuff. Not saying Dustin's going to do anything like that, but you tend to see a lot more than you would actually do when you're just a puller. There is some truth to that. But I think this, it was supposed to happen at the last one. It didn't happen. It's going to happen this time. Yes, Phil Woody, maybe match of the night, Roman 3-1.
Gotcha. Oh, who's this guy?
As I said before,
God damn, Russ Schrader looks huge.
I talked to him. Hey, I talked to him yesterday. When I talked to him, I messaged him. I said, hey, man, I'm getting excited. Hey, I was like, I woke up this morning at 234 pounds. Okay. This was yesterday morning. He responds, he woke up at 250 pounds. So now, Russ is currently in the rankings. When this match was made, Russ was ranked number 13. I was ranked number 20, left hand 242. A couple things have changed. Number one, Russ ain't 242. Number two, because of the latest and greatest of the tournaments, Russ is now number 14, and I got bounced out of the top 20. So that makes it even more exciting for me to get this matching going. And I've done a lot of research on Russ and watched him, and he's also another guy I think he's pulled in every single Monster Factory. And he knows what it's all about. This is where my nerves come in at. He knows the atmosphere, the layout, how things go, because he's been there before. This is my first ever time at the Monster Factory. I'm not going to get starstruck, no, but what I will say is that, and I'm glad this match is first. As I told you before we went on the air live, my match with Daniel got bumped to Saturday also. So I'm just like John Terry and Steven Logsdon, just like Pablo, myself, we have 2 matches on the same day or the same weekend, give or take. So Michael asked me, hey, because of the snafu and the traveling, and Daniel had to move his match to Saturday with myself, which one makes more sense? Which one do you want to pull first? I said, I want to be the freshest for this match right here. And once again, I'll say this. It's very, very hard because Russ is a real good friend of mine. Awesome husband, good friend, good father. And it makes it real difficult to get my mind straight for something like that when it's hard. It's like me pulling Ryan Espey. I'm like, he's a good friend of mine. He's my co-host. It's weird to go into a match like that. You almost want to just get it over with. But I got business to take care of. And as my motto goes in arm wrestling, business first, celebrate second. And that's what I plan on doing. I don't make predictions on myself. I will on this one. I need that match. to prove to myself and everybody else that, you know, I can hang with some of the guys. I'm saying I'm going to win 3-2.
That's interesting to me because I expected you to say 3-0, but I was going to say 3-2 because I think there will be times where he presents different looks to you and you just need to adapt to it. But I think you do. On the flip side of that, when you're talking about him being used to the environment, arguably you've been in much more challenging environments lately.
True.
That Arm Wars house, man, that is intense. So you were there. You went through all that. Hey?
You saw the match, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
And when people say, they use the phrase, leave it on the table. That's exactly what I did that entire weekend. That match proved it. I left everything on that table.
Yeah.
And if I bring that version of me, Russ might be in trouble.
Yeah. So I also will say 3-2.
There we go.
I will be watching.
Yes. I'll be. Yes.
We gotta. I gotta highlight this. Gennady bought a Mercedes G-Class SUV. What are your thoughts on this? Does it affect the outcome of his match with Devin? First of all, that's my dream vehicle. I've been looking at them. I don't have $300,000 to drop on the one that I want. So maybe someday.
Is he predicting that he's going to win already? Did he bought that for himself?
Does it affect the outcome of his match? I think Gennady should buy whatever he wants, but if it causes him to lose focus, yeah, it could.
Okay, so you remember how Unger Bayev beat John and all of a sudden they bought him like an apartment or something like that?
Yep.
So if for some reason, let's just say if Gennady does win, what is Georgia going to buy him? What is Levon going to do?
Maybe they'll pay off his G-Class.
Man.
His G-Wagon.
And USS Liberty, I hope I do become a regular at the Monster Factory.
Jay Clean in Canada, a G-Class SUV that's 5 years old is still $200,000. So
damn,
maybe they're cheaper because when I was in Moldova, the entire police force all drove G-Wagons.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, Moldova. Oh, that's a sad situation.
Yeah. I wish it was back. Wow. What a match. This one is.
So here's the thing.
Wow.
Because did Rockers win, Arnold?
I don't remember if he won the Arnold or not, but I mean, still.
Because I know he just won the Nationals this past, or not this past weekend, but last weekend. Here's the thing, because we know Moser has the speed. He's known for his speed. I can respect that. I like people with speed, right? However, Rockers has the hand size and the power to stop that, but can he stop it? That is the question. You know, if Moser can hit that angle without elbow fouling, you know, then that's going to be, wow, I don't even know. This is one. It seems like every Monster Factory, the matches get better and better, you know, as far as from a quality standpoint. It's just weird, you know, because you need something like this, because this Monster Factory 4, there is no Corey West. There is no Michael Todd. There is no, you know, Brzezinski and, you know, and Hutchins and that kind of stuff. Those guys are not there, and Cody Merritt. So you get more quality matches where it's like it's hard to pick, you know. But if I had to, I would say maybe Rockers 3-1.
Oh God, I got to do something before you. This one, because I was going to go the same way. I'll go 3-2.
I
don't know, man. Moser is good enough, but I mean, Rakers has been on a bit of a comeback path here. That, yeah, 3-2.
Yeah. Oh, you want to highlight U.S. Liberty's comment? It says, I heard Arm Wars is an absolutely hellish environment to pull. Monster Factory should be a walk in the park. Yeah, from that standpoint, it should be. And these two guys on the show, Ryan and myself, who actually participated in the Arm Wars, knows that environment. It's like, holy shit, if you're not mentally ready, physically conditioned, it's not a good time, you know.
And your travel needs to go perfect.
Right. Yeah, because we both had issues traveling over there. We could actually write a book about that. But I don't have to travel 10 hours. So that's good, you know. As far as the environment, yes, it won't have that, you know, Neil pickup screaming, you know, from the United States, you know, walk up to the table. You probably won't have that, but still, this is the fourth edition of the Monster Factory, and I only expect it to get bigger and bigger, you know. So I plan on giving everybody my best effort in hopes that I can get a return date one day. So yes, I can't wait.
Oh, somebody's messaging me. Let's see who it is. Maybe somebody wants to jump on the show.
Is it Micropod? Because I know it's not Travis.
It's not here, buddy. Might be Travis. Who knows?
That's funny. Might be Artem, Uncle John. Who knows? Might be Billy Berg. Never know.
No, somebody's spamming me with stuff. Could be Billy Berg. Yeah, no. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Eduardo is back. I don't know that he ever was gone, but, you know.
This is one of those situations where it might be for some who you may want to win and who you may think will win might be two different things, you know.
Well, I can make my prediction real fast here.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to be Eduardo sweeping Craig 3-0.
I'm going to say this. If Craig is going to win, well, you know what? I think it'll be closer for a couple reasons. Number one, Eduardo likes to get that little carving like this.
Yep.
Luke Polsher will not allow that to happen. And if you can keep his wrist straight like this instead of like that, and we all know, Ryan, your wrist is like this. You're a natural human being for the most part. But if I go from here, now pay attention because it doesn't take much. If I go from here to there, that's millimeters. Or here to there, that's a big thing. If Craig can keep his wrist straight off the go, if not turn it back, Craig has a legit chance to win this match.
Well, Jay Clean thinks Craig's going to foul a lot.
I think Craig, he might foul, but, you know, Craig needs to know this is a match I think Craig really wants. And I think if he keeps that hand that keeps his wrist straight, not his wrist, but Eduardo's wrist straight, you know, like, and this is where Craig, and he knows this. He's been around for a while. Hell, he's been at the Monster Factory numerous times. Craig needs to understand this. And he doesn't need me to tell him that. But if you got to be a jerk at the table, like, Luke, watch his wrist, straighten his shoulders. I mean, you got to do all that because some of these guys will do anything they can to get this and be like, what? It is straight. Or they'll be like, it is straight. Like, I can see the back of my head, it is straight. They'll do all the nicks and crannies to get an advantage. Craig, I'm going to say this. You have to be able to keep that man's wrist straight. Because if for some reason it goes like this, it's very hard. Because then once it gets to here, all he has to do is go. It'll make it easy for him to go like that, you know?
Yeah. I think Craig's going to go there with him. But so your prediction is?
Craig in the upset.
Okay. Interesting. Craig needs a win because he's taken a couple losses lately.
Craig, keep that guy's wrist straight and make sure you talk to the ref. Oh, boy.
Now we're talking. We have the new
boy.
version, Artem 2.0, where he seems to have found the magical vitamins and minerals that all of a sudden make Artem a contender against Pavlo.
I made my prediction yesterday on the Uncle John show.
And what was it?
Artem with the upset.
You know what? God, that's I can't.
This is left hand, by the way.
Yeah, I know that, but it's Artem has a chance. But I'm with Jay Clean. I can't bet against Pavlo on this one. I'm gonna say
the last time I bet it on Pablo, I lost because it's a bin match.
Yeah, here's the deal, though. I think if Pablo loses one match, he loses the whole thing.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. I think he's going to have to sweep him 3-0, and that's my prediction.
And it's not like Pablo hasn't pulled twice at the Monster Factory before, because if you remember, was it the last one? He pulled Michael Todd and won. And then who else did he pull? God, I can't remember. He walked away with both titles.
He did. Yeah, he did. Now, this is a title match. This is the left hand 240 title match.
Man, Artem just kind of jumped up. He just leapfrogged a lot of people to get to that title match.
Artem just jumped about 2 weight classes from the last time I think I saw him pull.
Thank you, Joe, it was Paul Lynn that he pulled. So he's the left hand and right hand 240 title holder. And I guess, me being in that Monster Factory rankings, if they have one, I guess I'd be in that class too. So I'd be pulling the likes of Artem. And if I win, does that put me up in a contention? I tell you what.
Possibly.
If for some reason I beat Russ Shredder, which I plan on doing, then I know I have a better chance against Artem than I would against Pablo. Left-handed, yes. Jay Clean it is.
Man, I don't know.
So
like this version of Artem looks like a year ago's dad.
Artem is
like
all
Artem's
in.
Older brother. Hey?
Artem is all in, and you can take that how you want it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
you're going with the upset.
I'm going with the upset.
Okay.
3-2. I'm going with the upset because I think the other match Pablo's involved in that same day is the match he would rather have to win.
This one right here.
That one right there.
This is the main event, I think. Yes?
Correct.
Okay.
And the initial here's the deal, because when this card first got put together, it was the initial main event was going to be Chance Shaw versus Richard Lupkes. And then Chance got hurt. He couldn't do it. And then something happened with Richard and he couldn't do it. So then, they're like left. We're like, okay, what do we do now? We got to have a main event. Pablo's like, hey, I pulled this before. Ron Bath's like, hey, throw me in there. I'm thinking, all right, I got this. So now you put in Ron Bath, and boy, oh boy, that's one where I need to get some popcorn and sit front and center.
Match.
And I don't even know. I'm gonna have to make a prediction like 2 days from now because I don't even know right now.
It's gonna change. My opinion's gonna change 5 times between now and the match. But for right now, I'm gonna say.
See, you can't. Jay Clean had a perfect comment. It depends on the health of Ron Bath, period.
Well, I'm just going off of what I saw with Pavlo and Sabin. Man, I'm gonna say Pavlo 3-2.
And remember, those first, and we're gonna go back to East versus West for a second, because in that match with Pablo and Sabin, The first two matches, it was looking like a whitewash domination. But as soon as Sabin busted his wrist back, he never recovered. Pavlo never recovered. But, and I think he walked in at 253, I believe, in that match, and then had the audacity to cut to 242 just to go win the Arnold. And now he's pulling Ron. So I don't know if it's, just pulling on the left affect Pablo against Ron. I don't know, because now we're talking about people like Morozov, right? People like we've seen Morozov pull, at East vs. West multiple times. We saw Gasparini pull a double match at East vs. West. We've seen Corey West pull at East vs. West double matches. I think it does have some effect, because if you look back, those matches, they were 1-1 each hand. However, last time Pablo pulled twice at the Monster Factory, left and right, he came out victorious, which is why he has those titles.
He does have some tough matches, man. Like, he's got he's taken two that are not going to be easy. So sometimes there's one that's kind of like, a little bit easier. It doesn't really take too much out of you. That's not the case here.
I mean, hell, John Terry and myself are pulling two matches that day. But our matches are not on this level. So
man. Oh man, it's gonna go the full 5, I think, though.
Ooh, I like Jay Clean's comment. You want to highlight that last one?
This one here.
Yes. So, and I don't understand.
You see,
why
Pablo, to your point, when you said he kind of looked like he gassed, or all of a sudden, Sabin took over at King of the Table.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe Pavlo just didn't put on that weight in a healthy way. Maybe it just led to some fatigue. Who knows?
I thought his hand blew up, honestly. That's what I initially thought. Yeah. I thought his hand blew up, which made it easier for Sabin to really crank down on that pronation. That's my honest opinion,
Well, that's the matches, buddy.
I might have to do an arm, talk exclusive when I'm down there and be like, look, I might have to, because there's no way. It's hard for me to pick that as the main event as far as who's going to win, because it's like, I don't know.
Well, you know what, though? One of the cool things is, that's some good matchmaking. It's Michael, Rebecca, and everyone else involved have put together an amazing card. And I think we're going to see some top-notch arm wrestling and it's been rare lately, some top-notch refereeing.
I think it's getting better and better as we go. And I think because, Michael has awards, but it seems like the awards are different every single time. So that's always interesting. But I know this. What I do know is the fact that I think in the near future, and this is my prediction, that there'll be like a Monster Factory ranking system. They're going to have all the title holders in each class. There's going to be that kind of thing going on, I believe. So seriously, that's how it's going to be.
So you're competing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to plug 2 weeks from now is the Manitoba Provincial Championships. I am not competing.
No,
I'm going to take. Let's just say, Jody, this is one of those ones where I don't need another provincial title.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I am training a whole bunch of athletes, a bunch of them. And I'm going to be coaching them. My daughter's one of them. And this is all to get these people to place high and go on to the national championships in July.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm focusing on. I'm also taking a referees clinic, and I'm going to, go for a little bit of extra training there. And then in the nationals, maybe I'll take my master level.
Well, I want to know something. When is that belt going to be put to use? When is the first, edition of the league where that nice looking belt you got in the back
right here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. So when the tournament happens, all the tournament winners, they get the opportunity to challenge for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At some point, that match winner or the guy that won that weight class has that opportunity. I already know, and maybe I shouldn't know, because I'm an admin on the Stronghold Arm Wrestling League page, that person that won has declined to challenge me for the belt.
Come on, man. Why?
Well, because there's like a challenge fee. Basically, they kind of buy, they have to contribute something to the match. The way the structure is set up, it's not much, but there's also a prize purse for the winner of the challenge match. So they've declined to do that challenge. So
Because
we'll
of the financial?
Well, not necessarily. I think it's probably more like judging their own opportunity and chance to win.
Well, I know that with the PAF, are you familiar with Anthony Letterio? Remember him?
Yep.
And his belts, it was like if you want to challenge somebody for the belts, it was $250. Now, if you win the 250 from the champ and his belt, but if you lost, you just lost the 250. That's how that rule set went. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of similar to what you guys are doing?
It's kind of similar. I have to reread the contract, but it's kind of similar.
Right.
Now the other thing, Earl Wilson and I talked a lot at last Nationals about having one more go.
When can we get him on the show?
We have a rivalry that goes back a long, long, long time, right from the start of my career.
Right.
Mindaugas is in the chat.
Mindaugas, my man. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
So Earl says he's going to come back one more time. He and I are going to pull the Masters division at Nationals, and we're going to do it one more time.
Nice. I tell you what, and now that Mindy's in the chat, what's up, my friend? How you doing? How about you get a hold of Marcus Thompson and you challenge Mindaugas for his Armed Gods Heavyweight Championship? How about we do that? Make that happen.
I think he's called me out a couple times, and I think I've said basically, yes, bring it on. And no one has put the match together.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, when I was in England and I sat there and I gave you a call, hey, what's up? Oh, hey, Ryan, look at that dude in the background. And it was Mindaugas. Hey, why are you ducking me? I'm thinking somebody make this match happen. Who knows? It might be a future Arm Wars match. It might be an Armed Gods match. I don't know. Somebody needs to make something happen.
Somebody does. I don't know. He's the champ. He has the ability to make it happen over there. He can ask for the match he wants.
When you're the champ, you get to pull strings, right?
Maybe he doesn't want the match. Maybe Mindaugas is just talking and he doesn't want the match at all.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you gotta have that.
Yes, Jay Queen. He answered while eating a piece of pizza. Yes. We were on the the show that you were too busy filming.
Yes.
Yeah. It will be good. Maybe that was Jaggers. Okay, Jay. Maybe it was. I think everyone was eating pizza.
Oh, the pizza was there at the time. I was in the back, doing some filming, and that's when Neil and Jaggers got on there, and Mindaugas got on there, and I think Popescu got on there. All kind of people just kind of chimed in and stuff, and I missed everything, but it's all right though. It's all right.
That was the Arm Wars special where everyone but Jody was on.
Yeah,
he says it's going to happen. Well, I'm not getting any younger, buddy. Like time is wasting.
Let me make a few calls. See if I can push this envelope.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Well, my friend, we have predicted the shows, anything else you want to touch on before we get off of here? Do we want to go down any paths?
Yeah, leave Neil Pickup alone. That will go out to Ryan Bowen and his wife. If you have any disagreements, that should be held behind closed doors and not to the public.
Man, that is a weird one for me. And I know very little of what's happening. But I will say this. I never, ever, ever will willingly say yes to my wife to go in and talk shit to an arm wrestler, no matter who it is. If it's even Evan Burgoyne, who deserves everything he gets, I will discourage her from going in there and making a comment because fucking Jake Lee, because if they fire back at her, then I'm obligated to do something.
Right. And
however, but when you jump into it, you should expect stuff to come back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And some of the comments that, Joanne or JoJo Bowen had said, I kind of scratched my head because her experience with Arm Wars wasn't the same kind of experience I had. And that's when I had to chime in on that show that Tom Stubbleline had and go, wait a minute, that's not the experience I had. If you only met Neil Pickup one time in person and that was your experience, I will have you know, I've known Neil for a few years now. And my first time meeting him was last month. And that wasn't the same experience I had that they had. So I can only go off of what I witnessed and what I experienced. So that's when it's like going, okay, you know what? You need to calm down. Like, seriously, that doesn't need to come out. That needs to be.
What's the motivation? What's the point of them talking like that and saying stuff?
Well, and not to mention, I mean, for everybody saying, oh, Neil pick up this, Neil pick up that. Well, I'm sorry. Last I recall, Ryan Bowen burned bridges with Ingen also. Are you going to blame Ingen too for that? He's burning bridges as he goes. And now he's creating his own little arm wrestling league or federation down in Australia, which is good for him. But how many people are going to come? Now he has a match with Coach Ray left-handed.
Yeah. I'm just highlighting this because it's funny, but Ryan seems to be having issues with everybody. So I mean,
it's the common denominator.
Jay pointed out Ryan needs to realize that he's the common factor. Yeah, I think probably that's accurate. If he doesn't like something that happened, then don't go back, man. You have the ability to, if something really bothered you about an experience you had, just don't go back. If that's what you want to do.
But you got if you thought that you were being disrespected by Neil about your match and stuff, or he didn't give you your props or whatnot, okay, fine. Like you said, don't go back. What's your issue with England in that situation? I mean, you talk about a guy that's gotten opportunities. He's got opportunities at King of the Table, East First West, Arm Wars, and has burnt those bridges. I can't speak for King of the Table, but he's burnt those bridges. And now what are you going to do,
Well, I mean, he's got a big platform, but it sure did help when everyone was like raising each other up, right? So you have these big channels like The Fix, you got Bowen's channel, you got, a lot of them were working together and they all got very popular. I think it hurts Bowen more than it helps him to be talking about all this stuff.
Because now he's kind of resorted to I got to really put all my money and my energy and time into this promotion that he has down in Australia. That, what's going to happen when you're supposed to go down there? How many people are going to go to Australia to pull at that tournament,
Yeah.
Besides the locals.
Right now, you've got East versus West bridge kind of burnt there. Arm Wars bridge kind of burnt there. King of the Table is probably next. Maybe Larry and Adam and whoever will set matches there. Maybe they're seeing all this and thinking, maybe we could go a different path.
Does he come to the Monster Factory? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, my God. For me, if I'm a promoter and I see that somebody is saying negative things about my promotion or someone else's promotion, it makes me not excited about bringing that person over because of what maybe they will do after the fact.
Ooh, Jay Clean. Most people, when they have a really bad experience at a place, they never go back. Brazing, arm wars.
Yeah. And things can't be perfect at all times.
Right.
People have different expectations. But I know that on occasion, who would you say the highest paid North American arm wrestler is? I would say it's probably Devin Larratt. The fact that he is gone and is going back should tell you something.
Well, technically, he's never lost that Arm Wars title.
No, he's gone back multiple times. He's going back again, and he's going back again for a dark card coming up
next month, by the way.
If the promoter was guilty of treating everyone like shit, do you think that would happen?
I mean, think about it, and we'll take Neil Pickup. How many times has people like Maynard Ninjas been a part of Arm Wars? Nicholas Nanastad, Frodo Hoagland. I mean, these guys are constantly on there, of the old days, and now the new edition of the Arm Wars. How many times have you seen Adrian Popescu, Mendigas Terrasitis? I mean, Josh Davis. I mean, these are the guys you see all the time now, right? And they get invited back, not because I mean, if they would have got treated like garbage, they wouldn't go back. They would just have to say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And why bring it up now? I just don't get the motivation.
No, it's real simple. If you don't like it, then don't go back. Whatever,
Yeah. So remember back when I talked about the whole WAF IFA debate, and I said they need to have IFA needs to have a better argument than come to us because we aren't them. Right. They're shitty. Here's a different option. It feels like that a little bit to me. So I think maybe Bowen, and he'll do what he wants and probably doesn't give a shit what I have to say, but I think maybe he needs to just focus on building his own promotion and doing it in a way where people want to come to him.
It's gotten to that point. He has to now, because I don't know if it's a pride thing. I am sorry for doing that. I don't know if I hope they do bury the hatchet at some point, because life is too short. But to carry on to where now your significant other is like chiming in, that's like, okay,
that's weird.
You don't do. There's unwritten rules. You don't do that. Like, my wife has very strong opinions about some pullers, but that's between me and her. That doesn't get aired out, and that's just the way it is,
Neil's the guy that used to always say a rising tide floats all ships, and I think he truly believes that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe somebody should return that favor.
Exactly. But we'll see. I mean, let's be real. I remember Washington State Championships 2021. Some Australians came to the event. I remember December of 2021. Some Australians came, and the first guy to pin one of the Australians on the right hand got a free trip to Australia. And we're still waiting on that. Jordan still pinned one of the guys, and we are still waiting.
And who was behind that?
Bowen said I would pay for him to come down, and nothing's happened since.
Yeah, he meant eventually, so maybe.
Yeah, but nothing's happened. Just to kind of throw that out there.
Yeah.
And those are the facts.
All right, buddy. Should we close on that high note?
Yes, we should. Everybody, thanks for chiming in on a Sunday rather than tomorrow. But yes, I'm motivated. I need to get my few days of work in. And what that say? I try to get to you. Yeah, there you go. I might do some Arm Talk exclusives.
Here you go.
Oh, good. When?
There you go.
When? Because
I did hear about that. I don't know when it's for.
Hey, maybe it might be that new promotion that it might be on the same card that Ryan is pulling Coach Ray.
Could be. Now, what would be the main event for you? Would it be Bowen versus Coach Ray, or would it be Lachlan versus Jordan Sill?
It would be Lachlan Jordan Sill easy because
That's your
pulling,
opinion, but would Ryan not put himself as the? We'll see.
he's pulling left-handed. That's not his good hand.
Yeah, but I think that Ryan will still put himself as the main event.
Is it the build-up because he got smacked 3-0 versus Coach Ray, and now I'm going to build this up? It's like, okay, this is the comeback. This is the rematch of all rematches.
Yeah.
Jake, I don't know.
Ryan's match is left-handed?
Yeah.
Ryan will not win that match. Do you remember when he tried to pull Chris Gobby left-handed?
Was that at that bottom 8?
Yeah. Like, I know Ryan's a lot better than he was back then.
Right.
But Gobby just destroyed him left-handed.
Yeah, well, Joe says Lachlan's already the main event against Hedo Morris on the next card. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. All right, my friend. I got to run, but it's been a slice. And, of course.
Yes, thanks, everybody, for joining the show. Make sure, don't forget to always like and subscribe. And enjoy your Sunday, because I'm going to go eat some breakfast, mess around a little bit, and get ready for work. And then that's how I'm going to start my week. So there you have it. Everybody, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Also,
and I will, you know what? I might go live when I'm down in Arkansas.
You should.
You know, just for shits and giggles, I might go live.
I assume he's talking about Bowen. But we have where was I going to go with this? Yeah, we're not doing a show tomorrow. This is tomorrow's show, but it is today. So when we return, we will be talking about all of the events that happened at Monster Factory. Right on.
Yes. Take care, you guys. We'll see you guys later on.
Right on. Thanks.
Take care.
See everybody.